Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2024. One more circle around the sun. Yeah, this one here is going to be my 73rd. It's mystic numbers, 7 and 3. Hopefully, this year will be better than the last one. It wouldn't take much. Yeah, it wouldn't take much. I tell you, the last few years in human history have not been good ones. Okay, not really. I mean, every time there's something nasty coming down, there's also a silver lining in that dark cloud, so it hasn't all been bad. There's been good stuff coming down, too, obviously. I would still have the smile. If it was all bad, no, I'd be laying flat on the ground going, I give up. So, last night was the big celebration over here. People take New Year's pretty seriously over on this island. Hawaii is, at least in some areas, still legal for some fireworks. The aerials, that is the skyrockets that we see so much of around here, aren't really illegal. But boy, there's a lot of them. But they allow, firecrackers, sparklers, fountains, and all that stuff to happen around here in Puna, where, well, unlike Lahaina, we are quite wet. And almost all the roofs on houses here are made from metal. So, it's not very risky. Boy, it don't bother me much. I kind of like watching it. We have a good view off to the east side and the south side of the island here, where we're up high and overlooking. So all the people down below blowing off fireworks, we get to watch it from the front porch. Ellen, she was all set up for this, so she loves to sit out there. And as it turned out, I don't think I have ever run across a bigger display in the neighborhood here before. This was the top. It has always been really good. Yeah, 4th of July is not too bad, but New Year's, better yet. Just sit out there and just watch the show. So many fireworks. Well, this was the ultimate. I have never seen anything or heard anything quite like it. Usually, most of the guys with the heavy-duty fireworks tend to be a little bit down below us. I don't have any neighbors really close, like right across the road and stuff. And so all this stuff is down the hill. And so in the past, we didn't really have too much trouble with Gracie, because it was booming and stuff, and I guess it made her nervous, but she just went and hid under the bed. Well, last night was a different story because I had several neighbors right around us, one right behind here and one right over there. They were really setting off a show. Oh, man. Ordinarily, it's a little bit of a distance, and I don't know, they allow firecrackers here. I'm not exactly sure how big those firecrackers can be. I mean, we used to have things called M80s. I don't even know if that exists anymore. They used to claim that was a quarter stick of dynamite. I don't know what it really was, but it sure would blow something up. I'll tell you that. And it was loud. We had the cherry bombs too, and they weren't quite as big, but they were pretty powerful. Well, whatever this was they were setting off there behind me, I'm beginning to wonder if it wasn't improvised explosive devices rather than actual legitimate fireworks. It was huge. The boom, oh my goodness. That, and I believe I heard someone else back there who hadn't spent any money on fireworks or got themselves a permit, so I think they were discharging 6 rounds out of a handgun. It sounded like a revolver, the timing, and I'm always trying to convince myself when I hear this stuff that, oh no, that's not a gun, that's firecrackers. But twice, I think somebody loaded up their 38 and did a little celebrating with it. 6 shots in rapid succession, about 5-minute pause and 6 more. Yeah. Anyway, as it got started up last night, right after dinner, it was just getting dark. There's really starting to be a lot of the stuff around. I stepped out to the porch and got to sit there and watch. Well, Gracie, she right through the door, jumps right out after me. Well, just as soon as we both hit the porch, off this way, all of a sudden, there's a huge explosion. Oh, man, I mean, it's just thunderous. Well, poor Gracie, she jumped in the air, and she goes running this way. And then all of a sudden, as she ran that way, another bigger explosion came from that direction. Cat turned around, she's running the other way. Poor thing was absolutely panicked. The second explosion was so loud, it made me jump. And so I'm not surprised that it blew the cat's mind. Well, she was terrified, looking for shelter someplace, going to try and hide. Well, I didn't want her out there hiding in the landscape as all this stuff, because, I mean, it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. I went around the corner chasing after her, and I went, Gracie, come here. She's, Bill, I don't know what to do, So I got up to her. She stayed put. She did listen to me, but she did not want to cooperate. She was in such panic. I went to pick her up, and I said, I'm going to take you inside the house. And she's, no. Come on, Gracie, knock it off. We're going inside the house. No. Yeah. Well, as I got her inside, her senses came back to her. She was, oh, yeah, this is a good idea. It's quieter in here, isn't it? Yeah, it's quieter in here. So some of these explosions were so close, okay, and they were so big, that they shook me. That there's no way I was leaving my cat out last night. It just wasn't going to happen. Yeah, she'd have been in terror. So, she followed me into the bedroom. We turned on the TV and flopped down on the mattress, and I started watching cat videos with her. Cat videos are... she didn't watch much television, but you put on cats and they start going, meow. Next thing you know, she's watching. So I put on videos of cats and kittens, and so she got occupied and she's watching all this and turned it up so she didn't hear so many of the fireworks. That kind of calmed her down pretty good when she'd get to watch a bunch of cats. And so eventually I made a transition later on into actual fireworks videos. Yeah, we watched the fireworks from Washington, D.C. We watched fireworks from Brazil. I think it was Sao Paulo. Anyway, somewhere in Brazil they had a firework. Rio. It was Rio. That's where it was. Yeah, they had fireworks going. And so we watched that. And what I noticed is... there was a lot of noise and light outside the house, but with the noise and light on the TV set. Now, Gracie's not afraid of the TV set. She watches it with me frequently. And so, I don't know, it kind of like, she seemed to calm down. She really didn't notice the fireworks outside the house when she was looking at fireworks inside the house, and she actually watched the show with me. We both kind of got sleepy and passed out. TV turned itself off, and all of a sudden I find myself wide awake again. It's the stroke of midnight. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's the thunder boomers, man. That stuff was going off and close, and so much of it that my bedroom has a big patio door, and it looks out to the north and the west. And the sky was illuminated. It was just light outside. There was so much firework, and some of it was hugely loud. It blew Gracie right up out of her bed. She's sitting there, and she's terrified, looking out the door. And so I go over, and it's all right. It's okay, girl. Don't worry. It'll be fine. So I go and calm the cat down. At that point, Ellen comes in, gives me New Year's kiss. It's midnight. Yeah, I said, well, she says, man, the sky's lit up. I said, I know, I'd like to watch it with you, but I'm afraid to leave her here. So you go watch the fireworks. I'll stay here and keep the cat calm. And I did. It went on for quite a while. I had to, I guess I was calming the cat's nerves for at least 15 minutes straight there as the barrage went on around midnight. It was massive. It was loud. Oh man, New York City, they dropped the ball over there last night, and they're all worried about bad actors, terrorists, or whatever, people causing trouble and that. I tell you, on this island, you're going to get in trouble on New Year's Eve. It's going to be from inhaling gunpowder fumes. Yes, the air pollution around here gets about as bad as it ever gets during 4th of July and New Year's. There's so much gunpowder in the air. It's just thick. Yeah. So, anybody else have any problems with their pets? I don't know, Ellen rounded up some stuff the vet gave us before for Calming Gracie down. I don't know, gabapentin maybe it is. Anyway, I know she put some of it on her food last night. It seems to have worked, I think, because it was kind of unique. After watching the fireworks on the TV with the cat, once the fireworks started up around midnight, after I kind of got her calmed down from the big explosions, she actually just sat there and watched them through the patio door with me. Yeah, just watching the sky, going, "Wow, what is all this?" I don't know if she probably didn't really understand fully what that is, but she just watched it without terror. So, who knows? Maybe one of these days she'll get to like them. I doubt it. So we had some friends over for lunch yesterday. It was a marvelous lunch. Yeah, this fresh fish has been coming in, and usually we get ahi tuna, but lately tambo or albacore has been coming in. It's not ordinarily considered to be as deluxe as ahi. It's that's the tuna they usually put in the cans. You buy canned tuna. But it's been coming in fresh. I've eaten it before. It's good when you're looking at sushi, or something. The ahi is always going to be a much darker, richer, redder sort of a color, whereas the tambo or albacore tuna is a whiter type tuna. They have names for it in Japanese. I can't remember right now, but. Yeah, so the fishermen are getting that stuff, and they're getting mahi too. So yesterday we invited over Kevin and Angela, and they had lunch for New Year's, and I made poke from the albacore tuna, which was good. The thing I noticed about it is that it is much more tender than ahi. Yeah, a couple days back I'd made some ceviche and put it on a tostada and then covered it with avocados from the tambo tuna, and I could hardly tell the difference between the texture of the tuna and the texture of the avocado. That's how tender this stuff is when I ate it. So I made it up into poke yesterday and invited over friends, and we had a big old bowl of that stuff. I don't know if folks who aren't familiar with poke, that's a local raw fish specialty here. It's raw fish in cubes that's been marinated in soy sauce, sesame oil, sesame seeds or toasted macadamia nuts, red chili, variety of different things, onions. There's not a lot of people on the mainland are all that hot, I guess, about eating raw fish. I know I wasn't at first. I've gradually grown to be very fond, especially when it comes to ahi. I like it better when it's raw than when it's cooked. Until I started buying ahi tuna and marlin and mahi, especially fresh from the fishermen here, that fish that's never been frozen. I really didn't realize how much difference there is between the fresh fish and the frozen fish. I used to do a lot of fishing in Wisconsin, and I don't know, man, when I froze walleyes or froze crappies or something, or trout, I just don't seem to recall that there was that much difference between the ones I brought home fresh and the ones I took out of the freezer. But boy, here, oh man, it's subtle, but if I make poke from fresh ahi, right, the first day, right when it comes home from the fisherman, it's fabulous. If I freeze the ahi and I turn back around and I make poke a week later, it's okay, but it's not the same. Experience I've been having with mahi here is amazing. I've eaten mahi a large portion of my life, I guess. I've enjoyed it in a lot of restaurants as a mahi sandwich. Hi, Gracie. Did you hear me talking about fish? Huh? Gracie heard me talking about fish. Yeah, I was cutting up mahi yesterday, and she decided, I like that stuff. Yeah, she was helping us eat some of it. She doesn't eat a lot of people food at all. That's rare when she finds something she likes. But she agrees with the mahi. We had that yesterday. And I have not been able to figure out how it can be that different. When mahi, when it's frozen, tends to be fairly dense, almost like a piece of chicken or something. It's kind of fibrous and a little bit chewy. Generally, it is. On a sandwich, not over the such, but it is. Well, not the stuff we get here. When they bring in the fresh mahi-mahis, I take them and bread them in panko and put them in the air fryer. Oh, they are tender and moist and juicy. No way. It's just almost like it's a completely different fish. When after I put it in the freezer and then bring it back out later, it isn't as bad as the commercial stuff I see, as far as in the freezer case at the store or something, but it deteriorates a little bit. Yeah, it does. Hey, Gracie, you want to say hi, people? No? Gonna go away? Yeah. My cat is here, safe and calm this morning. So we had good fish. We had the tuna and we had mahi yesterday. The mahi was breaded in panko, and we ate that with lemon juice and tartar sauce, and had rice and salad and furikake for the poke. Yeah, good time was had by all. We hit the end of the meal there, and I went over, and Gary and Kahoa had given me a rum-soaked pineapple cake. So I brought that baby over and some of the Christmas cookies, set it down. I said, okay, this is a rum-soaked pineapple cake. I got some rum. So I brought out that Kohana, the stuff I showed last time around here that was made from the heirloom Polynesian sugar canes. I swear, I had no idea. Most of my life, I saw rum as being next to lighter fluid. Yeah, the only experience I ever had with it was with Bacardi or Ronrico, and they're pretty rank. And the only way I could ever drink that stuff was like as a Cuba Libre, rum and Coke with lime juice in it or something. It was just too rank to be able to sit there and sip it. Well, after I moved to Hawaii, and we needed some rum for making Mai Tais, and so I started to buy some of the local rum, I realized that here in Hawaii, we make some of the best rum. Just wonderful. Rum that generally smells like grass or like sugar cane, not like lighter fluid, okay? There's some very, very, very tasty rum here I've grown to enjoy, the beverage, actually. But this Kohana, boy, was that a rum of a different color. It's perfectly clear. It looks like moonshine or water, so one would expect it to just be, alcoholic. Man, I open the bottle. Of course, first thing I do, I'll take a sniff. Wow! I wish there was some way I could convey scent, aroma across the internet. You're going to have to try this for yourself, because certainly the first note I picked up was molasses. Wow, is it the molasses note? But there were other notes. Right now, I can't even quite recall. It was complicated. Yeah. I have never smelled anything like it, nor have I smelled a rum like it. It really didn't even hardly smell alcoholic. It smelled more like molasses. Well, anyhow, very unique because when tasted, I expected with such a strong smell that this rum was going to have a strong taste. The taste is neutral, very smooth, mild. Did not have a burning moonshine alcoholic type, reaction. It was very smooth, quite good. Actually, mostly smell, not a lot of flavor. It was a good taste. It was a good taste, but it's nowhere near the aroma. The aroma was just to knock you out. So we tried that. Everybody agreed it was very unique. I don't know. I guess Ellen said she liked the Japanese whiskey better. They're all good. I kind of enjoyed the rum. I've been wanting to try this guy's product. So we did that and had it with the rum cake, and it was a good time. Later on in the evening, then for dinner, Ellen got herself involved in her fish pond out here while the company was here, started pulling papyrus out. If there's anybody out there who needs papyrus plants, they're very architectural, beautiful, you want to talk to me because I have a lot of papyrus. I saw her starting on that, and I said, oh no, don't, it's a job. Yeah, so we ended up pulling a couple of 200-300 pound of papyrus roots and stuff out of the pond yesterday. Cut it all into pieces, and then realized we didn't have enough cat litter to pot it in, so it's sitting out there soaking right now. I use the clay kitty litter. I could use the field dirt here; it would work too, but I don't like digging holes in my field. What do you fill it with, So I use cat litter. It works pretty good as water plant soil. Yeah, she's happy and calm today. Well, I couldn't seem to get any local news stations this morning. Channel 4 isn't coming through. I don't know where it went. And Channel 13, they're just running the national stuff with the Rose Bowl parade and all that. I watched the parade for a little while. Parade's cool, but I don't know who the announcer was, but he was dingbat. I don't know, recycled jokes from the 1930s, I think. So I passed on that and never did find out what was happening around here this morning. I keep having to turn this camera off because there are helicopters coming over, one after another after another. I don't think it's the DEA. Usually when we have helicopters here, it's because there's an eruption. I know that Kilauea has becoming active. We had a 4 the other day, earthquake. There's threats of it, but I didn't hear anything. But I sure got a lot of helicopters. And the sirens were going by too. Something happened back here. Well, since I wasn't able to actually catch any news this morning, I'm blessedly ignorant as far as the mess that's on the rest of the planet this morning. I don't know whether anything got any better overnight or not. Hopefully y'all had some New Year's celebrations that didn't include some crazy running around with a gun or something. I haven't heard a thing about any of that this morning, so hopefully things went off pretty much without a hitch. Not too many fireworks injuries. That's inevitable. It's kind of like praying for peace and rain, hoping nobody's gonna hurt their hand with a firecracker. That ain't logical. Anyway, so here we are. It's another year. Let's make the best of it. That's always the way it is. No matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on outside your front door, it's always about what's going on in here. Yeah, everything out there has an effect on how we feel, but it is not how we feel. It is not us. We are what we are, and we are as good, as beautiful, and as wonderful as we think we are. It's a fact. There aren't too many of us that wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and go, "God, you're a good-looking guy," and "What a wonderful person." No, it seldom happens, really. It seldom happens. If I pick up a picture when I was, 18 years old and hold it up against the mirror, I go, "Oh, is that a good-looking guy?" But, oops, not anymore. Oh, well. But, yeah, it's all in here. It's how you feel about everything, really. And that flows over. It flows over to the people around you. Let's face it, if you're a cheerful guy with a strong message, and goodwill for for all, and you're sitting at a table with some morose, depressed mother who just wants to go ahead and put a hole in somebody or themselves, trust me, they ain't going to hang around long at the table with you. No. They're going to get out of there, and they're going to go find company elsewhere where they can find somebody else who feels as miserable about life as they do. Yeah. They come looking for you, but you don't have to let them in. Aloha. Hey, Anglos folks.